Our investigation led us here to a wooded area just off Bell Avenue under the I-475 overpass, where we found a trail of trampled vegetation. We followed it back deeper into the woods, where we discovered this, what looks like a human grave. It's long enough and certainly deep enough, too. Well, Don, Nick Line did not have much of a reaction, continuing to just stare straight forward at the judge as he announced that the state health director will stand trial. Robin says this time he couldn't get an image from the security app on his phone because it turns out the thieves damaged these electrical boxes, knocking out the power to the whole building. A very colorful welcome home for Palace this afternoon. These balloons have been up in front of her home, waiting for her to return since she went missing June 2nd.
We missed you.
The sound of laughter is back at the Edelins' home.
I'm back home, everybody. Have fun. I'm gonna play.
And that's exactly how Palace spent her first few moments back home in Flint.
Yay! Give me a hug. I'm feeling good to be home with all my family and my balloons.
The 5-year-old hasn't seen her dad or stepmom since they dropped her off with her biological mother, Fashana Skinner, on May 31st. The court-appointed visit was supposed to last just 2 days, but when the Edelins went to pick Palace up, she and Skinner were nowhere to be found. On Monday, police issued an endangered missing advisory for Palace.
The main person we want to thank is God.
Amen.
Because he kept her safe all this time. We just kept our faith and it prevailed.
Palace was located in Ypsilanti this morning. Skinner now behind bars on an unrelated warrant for her arrest.
I was so happy, and I wanted to join my family. I never want to be treated like that again.
I just grabbed her and started kissing her, and she just squeezed my neck so tight, and she said, I miss you, and I told her I missed her too.
Palace is in good condition and didn't need medical attention. She was found wearing the same shirt she left in, but I'm told her pants were changed and her earrings are missing.
She's been wearing those gold earrings with pink stones in them since she was a baby. Now I'm gonna have to try to find her a new pair of earrings.
Dad says he's grateful that's the worst of it.
That's the most important thing, is just keeping her healthy and happy.
Amen.
Flint police had been searching this morning for a missing teen. It appears that search is now over.
Now we want to get an update. All this was happening in the 5400 block of Glen. ABC 12's ANNPIERRET is there. Ann, what can you tell us?
Guys, you are looking right now at 11-year-old Julius. He has been found. That's him standing with his dad. They just had an incredible reunion. He has been missing since about 7 o'clock last night. Dad said he snuck out through the bathroom window. He is known for running away, but they were starting to get worried. He does have a few health issues. Dad said he is borderline schizophrenic and has ADHD, so they were a little worried about where he might be. They found him actually here. We're on Glen Avenue and Mott Avenue. They found him in an abandoned home here. You can see several neighbors around here all jumping into action, looking for him. And as soon as they heard word he was where he was, everybody just ran in. And the woman behind him, if you can see her wearing the red, she was able to run in and get him and pick him up and carry him out. So quite the incredible reunion. Obviously a very scary situation, any parent's worst nightmare. And you can see several police here on scene. We had Flint Police, Genesee County Sheriff's Office, Flint Township Police, the park rangers here, several agencies, and here they are. Quite a wonderful reunion, walking home here on Glen Avenue.
I'm not angry. I'm sad, and I wish it wouldn't have happened.
A Mid-Michigan family went to visit a memorial for their loved one to find it cut in half.
Just months before their 7-year-old son died, a tree was planted in his honor. ABC 12's ANNPIERRET sat down with the boy's father, who says he's heartbroken but hopeful.
This tree has stood here for more than 20 years, marked with a plaque for Christopher Orr II. His family tells me it used to stand 15 feet tall until they believe someone took a saw to it.
For the life of me, I can't conceive why they would do that. I don't know.
Christopher Orr says his son's mother drove by the tree, as she often does, on Saturday, and she noticed the whole top half was missing.
I'm not angry. I'm sad, and I wish it wouldn't have happened, but they didn't kill it. They didn't cut it down, So in my life and the things I've been through, I'm thankful for what was there, not for what I think should be there.
The pine tree wasn't much taller than it is now when it was dedicated to Chris Orr II in 1998. The first grade class at Mount Morris Township's Buell Elementary planted the Tree of Bravery with him, honoring Chris's year-and-a-half-long battle with brain cancer.
He was physically there. He physically threw dirt in the hole. So when we go there, we're with him, I guess. He's there with us.
It's a day Orr remembers so clearly. The first day he says his son smiled in a long time.
It made him happy during a really bad time of our life.
And when the 7-year-old passed away just months later, the tree became the spot Orr feels closest to him.
It's been a place for me to kind of connect with him, I guess, in a way. I've slept there. I've cried there, I've laughed there, we've had family dinners there.
And he says they'll continue to cherish the tree. He's working now to help it continue to grow.
This won't be as tall, but it's strong, and that's what all this is about.
Orr isn't mad at whoever cut the top half off because his son wouldn't want him to be. Instead, he's hopeful it's become a Christmas tree for a family who needed it.
I hope so. I do. Because I'd hate to think they did it just to be mean. I hope some kids are around it. Hope there's some presents that come up behind it so my son could be in their home with them.
The lot is now up for sale. Orr is hopeful he'll be able to move his son's tree if the new owners don't want it on their property. In Mount Morris Township, I'm ANNPIERRET, ABC 12 News. Thankfully, the driver is okay, but his car certainly is not. Imagine smashing into this at full speed, 55 miles per hour.
They're standing up in the road just like this. There's one placed here, and then there's another one right there.
Cinder blocks. Driver Cody Stutler shared this photo he took after he crashed just before 1 a.m. Tuesday morning on Durand Road. You can see one of the 4 is just a skid mark.
As I came up to the top of the hill there, and I seen him, right at the last second, there was nothing I could do, just brace myself for impact, and sent the one, I hit the one block, and it went flying through this intersection. I would say probably a good 50 feet or so at least.
It couldn't have fallen out of somebody's car?
No, yeah, there's no way they could have fell out of somebody. They were in a perfect straight line all the way across this road.
Stutler immediately called his boss to tell him he wasn't making it to work. He moved the 3 other blocks to this ditch and then called police.
My car wouldn't move after that. It completely crushed in my radiator, core support of my engine, and all my fluid and everything drained right out.
Now he's without a car for about a month and looking at a bill of about $3,500 for the damage.
More than likely, it could have been, a young kid. Us guys, we do a lot of stupid things when we're young, but I've never done nothing like that in my life, so I don't see the point in it. And somebody needs to come to their senses, and bring it to justice.
Before he says someone else gets hurt.
Who knows what could happen next and what it could have been. I mean, I'm lucky to be alive.
This is the first incident like this state police have seen. They want to remind all drivers, if you see something in the middle of the road that you can't avoid, hit it. Don't swerve around it. In Shiawassee County, I'm ANNPIERRET, ABC 12 News.